Hi, my name is Heizel Acosta, and when I first learned about COVID, I was at my last year of my undergrad back in Puerto Rico. So for me, it was like a little bit scary because I was learning about this new virus that was affecting a lot of people around the world. And when we got the first case in Puerto Rico, like everything shut down. So as a student and like a aspirant for doing research, I was a little bit like skeptical about what was going on in Puerto Rico and in the country, United States, and other part of the world. With the position that I'm at right now, well, when I started, I was like undergrad, so I was like learning about like my field and thinking about what I was going to do in the future. But then because of COVID, in my undergrad, we have like little resources for doing research because like the labs also at my undergrad shut down because of the COVID cases and the new protocols. So I was a little bit worry about like what my transition for my research training or my PhD preparation will look like, because if I was comparing myself with another students from around the country, you can see like a lot of students with a lot of experiences, and I was like, I don't have a lot of experiences because of COVID, and that's why I transitioned for a postbac that is giving me the experience that I was lacking from my undergrad. And because of COVID, and me and other students have the same problem with like a lot of experiences were online and not like hands-to-hands experiences. So now I'm like moving again to the in-person world and getting used to like make more connections in persons. That I think that is something that a lot of people lose with this pandemic process, like to make that in-person connections and interactions. I was surprised that my undergrad institution was like really responsible in the way that they shut down and make like protocols before and after COVID. But something like for me like upsetting was like all of the labs at my undergrad institution shut down as well, so they lose like a lot of their data analysis and everything. So it's coming from my undergrad in Puerto Rico, like it's really hard to get like experiences and lab money to work on projects. So it was really hard to come back from the transition for being like away from the university and then getting back to the in-person experience and trying to work from zero, because like they lose a lot. I think that after COVID, like for me, I have like a sense for have like more responsibility to work in the immunology field, and we're like with more immuno approaches for future viruses, because I don't think that COVID-19 is gonna be the only virus that is gonna cause a pandemic. So I think that like I have a sense of more responsibility of what I'm doing right now in the lab, and I'm starting to think like more in the future and future generations and the future of science in immunology. I didn't think about that I was gonna end up working with viruses or with any immunocompromised disease, and now like moving forward with my transition, I'm working at the University of Michigan as a prep trainee, and I'm working with influenza infections and with marine coronavirus infection. So for me, it has been like a really great experience to learn about like the mechanisms of the viruses and to understand in a better level how these pandemics are affecting people around the world. So I think that that is the most like exciting thing from the pandemic.